Have you ever been disrespected by someone, maybe a colleague, a stranger, or even someone close to you, and felt that burning urge to react immediately? We've all been there. Disrespect cuts deep. It shakes your pride and makes you want to strike back. But here's the shocking truth. What if I told you that disrespect itself has no real power over you, unless you give it that power? This isn't just some motivational line. It's a lesson from the old philosophy of Stoicism, a way of thinking that once guided emperors, soldiers, and everyday people in tough times. Today, we'll look at 10 Stoic methods to handle disrespect, not with anger or revenge, but with wisdom, strength, and calmness. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll see disrespect in a way you've never imagined before. Let's dive in. 1. Keep your calm. The first thing Stoicism teaches us is that the real problem isn't the insult itself, it's how we choose to see it. Epictetus once said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them." Think about it. Someone insults you. Instantly, your mind races. They disrespected me. They don't value me. But in reality, those are just words. Words only sting because we give them meaning. The Stoic way: pause and remember. Their disrespect is a reflection of their state of mind, not a reflection of your worth. The insult says more about them than it does about you. The next time someone tries to belittle you, ask yourself, why should I let their weakness disturb my peace? Once you realize that your calm is worth more than their anger, you start to rise above the noise. Reflect on yourself. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Stoics believed in constantly examining themselves, even in difficult moments. When someone disrespects you, instead of jumping into defense mode, take a step back. Ask yourself, is there any truth in what they said? Did I contribute in some way to this conflict? Or are they simply projecting their own struggles onto me? This doesn't mean you blame yourself for everything, but it does mean you use every moment, even the painful ones, as an opportunity to learn. Disrespect can sting, yes, but it can also be a mirror. Sometimes it reveals areas where we can grow. Other times, it shows us that we are stronger than the opinions of others. Reflection is power. It transforms an insult into wisdom. Learn to pause before reacting. Seneca warned us, whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit. In other words, every time you give in to anger, you train your mind to react in the same way again. Imagine someone throws words at you meant to provoke. Most people react instantly. They lash out, shout back, or even plan revenge. But what if you just paused? That small pause, that single breath, creates space between the insult and your response. In that space lies your control. You are no longer a puppet of your emotions, you become the master. Next time you feel the fire of disrespect, challenge yourself. Count to 3 before you react. Let the pause remind you that your dignity is worth more than a careless insult. Practice empathy. It may sound strange, but Stoicism teaches us to approach disrespect with empathy. Epictetus advised us not to seek goodness in external things, but within ourselves. When someone insults you, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What pain is this person carrying that makes them act this way?" Often, disrespect doesn't come from strength, it comes from weakness. Insecurity, fear, frustration, ignorance. These are the roots of most harsh words. By seeing the situation through their eyes, you realize their words ain't really about you, they're about them. And suddenly, the insult loses its weight. This doesn't mean you excuse bad behavior, but it does mean you don't let their inner storm become your storm. You stay steady, compassionate, and above all, in control. 5. Focus on virtue, not ego. Here's where Stoicism gives us a powerful reminder. Our ultimate goal is not to protect our ego, it's to protect our virtue. Seneca wrote, "Virtue is nothing else than right reason." What does that mean? It means living by your values is far more important than winning an argument or proving someone wrong. When someone disrespects you, the ego screams, "Defend yourself, show them who's boss." But virtue whispers, "Respond with wisdom, respond with strength." Virtue is about courage, justice, wisdom, and self-control. If you hold on to these, no insult can truly harm you. Disrespect may scratch your pride, but it can never touch your character unless you let it. So next time you're faced with disrespect, ask yourself, what response would reflect the best version of me? That is the Stoic path. Before we continue, a quick challenge for you. If you've made it this far into the video, it means you're stronger than most. Most people would have clicked away by now, but you're still here, still growing. That already makes you rare. Stay with me until the end, because what comes next will shift how you see disrespect forever. Embrace acceptance. One of the hardest truths of life is this: we cannot control how others treat us. Epictetus said, He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control reminds us that we only control our own actions, not the actions of others. Disrespect? That's on them. How you respond? That's on you. Acceptance doesn't mean you tolerate abuse or allow yourself to be mistreated. It means you stop wasting energy wishing people were different. You focus on your inner strength, not their weakness. By accepting that disrespect is simply part of life, you strip it of its power. You see it for what it is, noise, and you choose not to let that noise disturb your inner peace. Use humor to diffuse tension. Seneca once said, "You have mastered yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously." Sometimes, the best response to disrespect isn't anger, it's laughter. Humor disarms. It diffuses tension. It shows you are not shaken by petty words. Of course, this doesn't mean mocking others or using sarcasm that cuts deeper. It means using lightness to remind yourself and them that their attempt to hurt you has failed. Think of it as armor. When you can laugh, you show the world that disrespect bounces off you, and that in itself is strength. 8. Set clear boundaries. Now, let's be clear. Stoicism is not about becoming a doormat. It's not about letting people walk all over you in the name of calmness. No, Stoicism is about strength, justice, and courage. When someone disrespects you, you don't need to fight fire with fire, but you also don't need to stay silent. A true Stoic knows how to stand firm without losing their calm. This means calmly, but firmly, letting the other person know what is unacceptable. It means protecting your dignity by setting healthy boundaries. You don't need to shout or argue, you just need to stand like a rock. Think of a rock in the middle of a storm. The winds may rage, the waves may crash, but the rock stays still. That's what boundaries do. They remind both you and others that your worth is not negotiable. So the next time someone disrespects you, ask yourself, what would a wise and dignified response look like here? Then act with calm strength. That's Stoicism in action. 9. Choose forgiveness. Here's a paradox. The most powerful way to deal with disrespect is forgiveness. Not for their sake, but for yours. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or the desire for revenge, who suffers? Not them. You, your peace, your sleep, your energy, they all burn away in that fire. Forgiveness is how you set yourself free. The Stoics saw forgiveness not as weakness, but as the ultimate act of strength. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, when you wake up, remember that today you may meet people who are rude, ungrateful, proud, dishonest, jealous, or unfriendly. But I know what goodness looks like, and I know what evil looks like. I also understand that those who do wrong are still humans, just like me. Forgiveness doesn't mean you excuse bad behavior. It means you refuse to let another person's flaws poison your soul. You release the weight of anger and walk forward lighter, freer, stronger. Remember, forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you reclaiming your peace. Change your perspective. Finally, the Stoics teach us the power of perspective. Disrespect feels huge in the moment, but step back for a second. In the grand picture of your life, how much does this really matter? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." If you focus on insults, your world shrinks around them. But if you zoom out, if you look at the bigger picture, you'll realize that most insults are just small, temporary, fleeting. Think about it. Years from now, will you even remember that comment, that argument, that moment of disrespect? Probably not. But the way you handled it, that will shape your character forever. Changing your perspective means seeing disrespect not as a wound, but as an opportunity to rise above, to strengthen your patience, to practice wisdom. And once you see it that way, no insult can truly harm you. If someone disrespects you, remember these 10 things. Stay calm, don't answer too fast, take a short break, try to understand them, do what is right, accept what you cannot change, smile when you can, set clear boundaries, forgive, and always look at the bigger picture. Disrespect is not the enemy, your reaction is, and when you master your reaction, you master yourself. That is the heart of Stoicism. If this Stoic lesson gave you strength, please give it a like so more people can find it. And if you're new, subscribe to Stoic Muse and turn on the bell, because every week we share powerful Stoic wisdom that can help you live, think, and grow better. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay calm, stay wise, and most of all, stay Stoic.